welcome back to another episode of the Cellcast presents Untangling Kingdom Hearts, a retrospective where we go through Kingdom Hearts just a little bit at a time. Today we are on Kingdom Hearts Union Cross Chapter 6, and today we are looking for gummy blocks, or at least in the cutscenes we're looking for gummy blocks, because we are looking at 3 cutscenes once again today. The first one is in Dwarf Woodlands, which is called Sleepy and Grumpy. And then we'll head back to Daybreak Town Moogle for Mickey, Chip, and Dale, and missing parts. So let's go ahead and get started. So last time I hit stop on the message that said there aren't any more gummy blocks in this area. Go to other worlds and look for some more. And if I had allowed it to go past that message, I would have seen the shortcut scene where Key Player opens the portal and then goes through. And at that point, he meets Chirithy in Dwarf Woodlands. And as they're getting their bearings about, looking for gummy blocks, gummy heartless to defeat to get those gummy blocks, they find a bottle with a letter in it, which they take to Doc. Doc, being confused, I don't know if this is one of the funnier ones, but it did stand out to me. He said, "You found a better in a lottle." Doc needs to quit stuttering. And honestly, I know that's supposed to be a stutter, but it doesn't really translate very well to these non-spoken cutscenes. But it is still a little interesting, at least, to say the least. He asks us to go find him. Find Grumpy and Sleepy, who are the ones who wrote the letter, and say, hey, go give them a hand. They're stuck out in the marsh. So Key Player heads out to the marsh, and we do see a quick little scene with Grumpy and Sleepy, and they are being accosted by a Heartless I'm not sure of the name of yet. I'm sure I will find out soon enough. And they're just wishing they could get past this thing so they could go home. We finally catch up to the Heartless that is accosting Sleepy and Grumpy, and we find out it's called a Wibble Wobble. This is the first time I've seen this particular one. It appears to be 4 Shadow Heartless in a trench coat. Well, it's not really a trench coat. One looks like it's a jacket, basically, and it's kind of like a winter jacket of all things. But you can see each of the 4 Shadows' heads sticking up through it. It's not that interesting a Heartless, if we're being honest. So yeah, Key Player defeats them, and then we actually enter the cutscene that's in theater mode. Grumpy complains that he could have taken care of it himself, and Sleepy just wants to go to bed. And then, you came here to lead us out. Well, go ahead and get it done before Goofball here falls asleep. To which, get Sleepy. He just keeps saying, yeah, I want to go to sleep. I want to take a nap. So we leave that cutscene and we get a message saying to protect Grumpy and Sleepy from the Heartless. Now, something that Dan points out in the Let's Play I'm watching here is that most of these missions that they're kind of giving you, like this one saying to protect Grumpy and Sleepy, you don't actually do that. What you do is they are on screen and you just kill all the Heartless that are on screen. You don't actually you're not really protecting them. I guess you are protecting them in the sense that you're defeating the Heartless so the Heartless don't attack them, but also not. So, yeah. After Key Player then defeats another little boss Heartless, this one without a name on screen, they catch back up with Doc. Doc thanks us for finding his friends and say they're going to the mine to look for others, while Sleepy yawns, and Grumpy says, well, we better hurry. He won't last much longer. Chirithy then suggests we take everything back to Daybreak Town, and we open a teleport, or Key Player opens the teleporter and does so. Donald thanks us for giving him some more gummy blocks, and just says all they're missing are the engine blocks, and asks us to go find some. Goofy mentions that the radar is acting all wonky, his words, and says it's pointing over towards that market over there. Perhaps you could go and check it out for us. So we go to the market across the street, and we find a gummy block in the shop. Unfortunately, because of the way the Let's Play I'm watching is, plus the way the cutscenes are. I don't know if we bought it, if he got it from the Moogle from earlier or not, but I suspect he did. Also, this is where the next cutscene of Mickey, Chip, and Dale starts. So, yeah. As Key Player comes out of the market, he gets attacked by a bunch of Wizard Heartless, but he gets saved by a certain rodent. And said rodent has a Keyblade. It is, of course, King Mickey, and he's a little concerned that the world that he's found himself in has darkness in it, but he is at least happy that there are Keyblade wielders. He introduces himself and says it looks like he took a surprise journey to a new world. In other words, Mickey doesn't know where he is. He then asks if we've seen Donald and Goofy, and presumably Key Player says, yeah, they're down in this courtyard over here. They're having some trouble rebuilding their gummy ship. Mickey says, well, it's a good thing that I was able to make it here safe. Of course, I wouldn't have done that without my two co-pilots, which he reveals to be Chip and Dale, which is also a good thing because Chip and Dale are the gummy ship engineers, after all. I say that like you know that, but this is literally the first time we are meeting King Mickey or Chip and Dale anywhere in this analysis trip. So, yeah, Chip and Dale do at least have some skills. Now, I will say, if you're like me and the Chip and Dale you grew up with were the Rescue Rangers, this is not quite them. It's not that characterization. This is more the Chip and Dale from the short cartoons from way back in the day, the theatrical shorts. So that's really more how they act, not like the Rescue Ranger versions that I am more familiar with. Chip says, hey, Your Majesty, why don't you let me show you how to use the brakes next time? Mickey apologizes to both of them and says, I'm sorry, I was just trying to get here in a hurry. So, yeah. King Mickey says he has to go check into something and asks Key Player to take Chip and Dale to where Goofy and Donald are to help them with their gummy ship, which where they are now is kind of interesting. As we leave, we see Mickey say, so it wasn't the Star Shard that brought me here. What is going on? Mickey, I am right there with you. I would love to know what the crud is going on also, but we will find out, I'm hoping, soon enough. Key Player apparently then fights some more Gummy Heartless to take with them on the way back to the waterfront where Donald and Goofy are. And yeah. And apparently I was wrong about that market being where the Moogle was from earlier, because we run across him and he's saying that he's talking about his new business with these gummy blocks and all. The Moogle says he's going to beat us at collecting all these gummy blocks, which that's fine and dandy. And as we leave that scene, we come across a behemoth. Behemoth is a type of Heartless that is the strongest Heartless in the original Kingdom Hearts, or the strongest non-boss Heartless. That's not even a good way to put it, because it's kind of a mini-boss type. There's no cutscenes involving Behemoth in the game, is what I'm trying to say, but he is still a hard guy to beat. But yeah, we fight. Key Player fights him. And we make it back to the waterfront plaza or courtyard or whatever you want to call it. And we see that Donald and Goofy's efforts at fixing their gummy ship has resulted now in a steamboat. Not quite Steamboat Willie steamboat, but it is definitely a steamboat. And of course, we have now entered the last cutscene of the night, which is called Missing Parts. As we get there, Dale says, this is neat, and Chip says, no, it's not, because that's not what it's supposed to look like. Donald and Goofy are happy that Chip and Dale are there to give him a hand. The scene fades to black as Chip and Dale do their full assessment of the gummy steamship to find out why it's not a gummy starship. And as we come back, we find out that it's still missing a few core parts. But they say the frame is perfect. Well, I mean, I guess it technically is a ship, even if it's not the right kind of ship, but okay. Apparently, Key Player did find a core part because he shows it off and they say, yeah, like that right there, but we'll need a bunch of them if we want the ship to fly again. And once again, we are told there are no more Gummy Heartless in this world. Go check out other worlds. And so we do. That's going to be where I end the actual recap of the events. This is, at least we're finally starting to get somewhere. The line there from King Mickey about being confused as to how he got there is at least starting to maybe somewhat explain how they are here, despite the fact they shouldn't be, at least from my understanding. But yeah, we will see where that goes. The whole thing with Sleepy and Grumpy almost feels like a bit of a filler, but I think it may build into where the Dwarf Woodlands story is going. The fact that they separated it like this is a little funky, though, I will admit. But if nothing else, it was a good excuse to go back there and at least advance the story a little bit, looking for those gummy blocks. But yeah, we are slowly but surely getting going. So join me next time for 3 more cutscenes, starting off in Agrabah with a failed attempt. Then we'll go to Daybreak Town Moogle for Taking Flight, and then to Daybreak Town Chirithy for Chirithy's story. So join me then. The Cellcast is a member of the Pop Americana and Culture Box media networks. For more information about shows in those networks, please check the links in the description. The Cellcast presents Untangling Kingdom Hearts as a production of the Cellcast podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at cast_cell, on Facebook at the Cellcast, on Twitch at the Cellcast Gaming, and you can email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com or visit us on our webpage at thecellcast.podbean.com. Our theme music is Trinity by Tyler Spirian and is a remix of the song Dearly Beloved by Yoko Shimomura from the franchise Kingdom Hearts. The Cellcast podcast has no affiliation with Square Enix, Disney, or for that matter anyone else connected to the Kingdom Hearts franchise. The Cellcast Presents Untangling Kingdom Hearts is a fan production, and no copyright infringement is intended or implied. Kingdom Hearts is owned by both Disney and Square Enix. This podcast also is not intended to be a replacement for playing the games. Please go and play them yourself.